Highway Wildcats, this is Mrs. Henkelman, and I'm going to be reading your pages tonight. All right, starting off on page 39. Tell me a story. Race you to the drop, Otter says, glancing at the point where the slough empties into the far deeper bay. I'm tired, Kyrie says. I don't feel like racing. Tell me a story instead. You're just trying to distract me, Otter replies. You know me too well, says Kyrie. Scary stories. Tell me about the 50 again, says Kyrie. Because it is a scary story, and scary stories are the best, at least when the sun is out and the waters are calm. Otter shimmies and bounces, but everyone knows that story, she says, and she's right. The story of the 50 is every otter's story. For a moment, Kyrie seems to be shivering, her eyes glazed and unseeing. Kyrie, Otter asks, are you all right? Kyrie blinks and shakes her head. I'm fine, just a little tired. Otter hesitates. Kyrie hasn't been herself the past few days. She seemed sluggish and distracted. You're sure? Remember when Amaya had the shaking sickness? I'm fine, Kyrie says firmly. The 50, please? Otter dives, resurfaces, spirals. The 50, she begins, and Kyrie clasps her forepaws together and falls silent. The 50. Once in times past, when the ancients lived, the ocean was filled with our kind, Otter says. But that changed. Not so very long ago, there were only 50 of us, and that was all. Because of the sharks? Kyrie interrupts. Not really, Otter twists and twirls. Not then. Because of sickness? Kyrie says. Some, Otter spins and rolls. But mostly that came later. Because why then? Kyrie asks. Otter glances at the faraway kayaker, now just a drifting dot, so small he might be an egret or a marsh wren. Because of them, she says, and then she plunges under the waves. Deep dive. A sea otter can stay underwater for 6 or 7 minutes, and that is what Otter does. It's fun to build suspense. The end. When Otter blasts back to air and sun, her friend is waiting impatiently. Now tell me the rest, Kyrie demands, still back floating. There is no rest, Otter somersaults. There were 50, and now there are more, 3,000 perhaps. And we are part of the more, Kyrie asks. All of us, yes. We all come from the 50. Otter rubs her nose. The end. I liked it better the last time you told it, Kyrie complains. Stories change, says Otter as she zooms past Kyrie. Now let's find us some breakfast, my friend. The sighting. The intriguing scent becomes something more for the shark. There they are, above him, on the surface, dark, long silhouettes with webbed feet and muscular tails. He's glimpsed some before, but never this close. They are sinuous, but not eel sleek. They don't shimmer in the way of a mackerel or a ray. Wouldn't sea lions be bigger than this? Maybe these are young sea lions, babies even. They move surprisingly well, with a certain elegance, but they're no match for him. One is slower, and that will be his target. No reason to expend extra energy, although what a feast two would make. He feels the sharp complaint of hunger and presses on. The fin. Just a little farther, Otter says, as the beguiling, wild song of the bay calls to her. Kyrie is right beside her. Please, Otter, she says, let's go back. And Otter hears her fear. We've gone too far. The sun sparks the waves as the wind picks up, and then Otter sees it and her heart lurches. Gliding, glimmering, almost beautiful, the dorsal fin of a great white shark. Speed. A few thrusts of the shark's powerful tail and he'll have them. Easy as that. Sometimes even he is shocked by his own speed. The chase. Otter lets loose, a high-pitched scream. Though Kyrie needs no warning, she is already churning the water, and Otter sees the terror in her friend's eyes, and both otters move like they have never moved. But he is already on them. Otter can feel him slice the surf in two. She can smell his hunger. Turning back, Otter knows this is all because of her, because she is reckless and wrong-headed and curious to a fault. She hears a strangled cry and turns to see the shark has nipped her friend's tail as the awful stench of blood blooms in the water. A full-grown white would have devoured them both by now, but the shark must be young, inexperienced, or confused. Kyrie is slower. There is only one thing to do, and so Otter twists, turns back, passes her wounded friend, heading directly toward those jagged rows of teeth, those unfeeling eyes. Confusion. It was just a small bite, but the hint of blood makes the shark bold. Some part of him wonders if he's made a mistake. The taste, perhaps, but it's too late. He's pure muscle and instinct now. As he moves in for the kill, he's met with sheer movement, flipping and twisting, an eruption of bubbles, the reek of fear. It's under him, behind him, hitting his flank. How could it be? But it is. It's one of them, not the one he nipped. The other, hurling herself at him. It's impossible. Never has he seen anything move like this. He tries to focus on the wounded one, the slower animal, heading away, but this other frenzied thing, whatever it is, won't let him be. I hope you enjoyed tonight's pages.